Find your grind. What do I mean by that? I don't mean to sound like one of your stereotypical entrepreneur gurus out there, but I think that it is a good idea to think about obtaining a grind. All my life, I went through different stages of what I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, and those various things. Some of them kind of required a little bit of schooling, maybe, here and there. But then as time went on, got more of the lay of the land with what's going on the internet with YouTube and all that jazz. I kind of realized that in order to pursue some of my biggest dreams, I didn't need a piece of paper for that. I didn't need to go to an institution for that. But it took a long time for me to make the conscious decision to just pursue it. It's a lot easier said than done. And I think there's plenty of younger people out there that might benefit from this advice. But at the same time, this is more aimed at people my age, people in their 30s. You have a lot of time left, potentially. Not to sound morbid, but, I'm at that point in my life where I'm starting to wonder what the heck to do. And I think that is a good thing to admit publicly. Because we're all just kind of winging it at the end of the day. And many successful people might seem like they know what they're doing, but they just kind of went for it. A lot of them. You kind of have to accept failure a lot. And if you don't, you're just going to be molding over the wrong thoughts. You're just going to be sitting there thinking about just a bunch of funk. You really need to find yourself in order to find your grind. I grew up making a lot of videos for myself and for the internet, mostly Facebook, kind of just sharing it with friends. But some of it was on YouTube here, various little projects. But it never really went too far, and I never really considered that to be the main thing I wanted to do. I was dead set on I want to make video games. I was so enamored by watching these videos of these devs talking about the games that they've made. You know, Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear Solid, Shigeru Miyamoto of Mario and Zelda. You know, I grew up playing with Legos a lot, as many of us probably did. And Hideo Kojima, I believe, if I remember right, he, when developing Metal Gear Solid 1 for the PlayStation 1, used Legos to kind of help him build out those levels, because it was like the first time they were really doing full 3D in that game series, you know. And it really helped him figure that out, you know. Sometimes various things like that aren't directly related to the video games or the project you're working on, I should say, video games in this case, are the things that maybe you should be pursuing. Maybe that should be your passion, should be your grind, your art of choice. What do I mean by that? Well, I was making all these videos, and I always thought it was like just a fun side thing, kind of. And I wanted to, you know, make content and everything, and I wanted to be a YouTuber. But like, I also really wanted to make video games. But I was not built to make video games. Every time I tried to pick up anything to do with programming, it was like, good luck, man. You know, C#, all that stuff, it's not my cup of tea. I wasted a lot of time and some money checking that out before I realized it's kind of a lost cause. But I think it all kind of happened for a reason. Because in that meantime, having all these great video game ideas, I had always been playing guitar here and there. You know, I learned rhythm guitar as a youngin'. And I was always playing video games. I was always watching these YouTubers. And I was always making videos for fun. And I was kind of a natural at it, considering no one really taught me how to make videos. And now I'm at a point where I realize that the things I was doing on the side, because like I was thinking, I'll make these videos and then I can share my video game projects that I'm developing. That never happened. I was always thinking it was going to happen. I was going to make some video games someday, somehow. I was pumping myself up all the time. Every time I would load up a new game engine that was a free one or something, you know, like Unity or Unreal Engine. And like, oh, they have this system. You don't really have to know or learn real programming. You can use blueprints inside of Unreal Engine and stuff, you know. And I kept telling myself, you're going to get around to that. You're going to get around to that. Well, damn, like 15 years later, I never got around to that. But I had all these videos that I made sitting around on hard drives and, again, various channels throughout the years. And I kind of just realized that maybe I should like really think about this, like, making a YouTube channel and sticking to it, right? But at the same time, I was really lost. And I just didn't know what I was going to do. I felt like a failure. I didn't really know where I was going in my life. And, it's just kind of weird to think about the series of events here. But what I'm getting at, though, is I started writing music on accident at my day job. I was joking with coworkers about how during the multi-hour blocks of country music on the radio, country music is the same, man. I can write this. Anybody can write this, just, being silly, because I was just sick of hearing it or whatever, and I was like, I'm going to do it. And I went home and I wrote a country song. And I was like, I did it. I just did it. I completed it, and I didn't hate it. And that was kind of the beginning of now. All the while, I started writing songs. I started thinking more and more about the YouTube as well, and then making videos and trying to come up with what I was going to do to make, what kind of videos was I going to make on YouTube, type of thing. And, I got a lot of ideas together, and I had a lot of songs completed after a couple of years, and I had all these ideas going, but I wasn't doing anything. I didn't have the grind. Now, I'm really doing my best to not use the word try these days. I treat it like a swear word. And the reason I do that is because every time that I made a lot of progress towards the things that are now at the heart of what I want to do with my life, it was because I just went and did it. I went and wrote a song to prove a point as a joke, but I liked it. I was proud of it. It was better than I thought it was ever going to turn out. Now, I just got back home from a 12-hour shift. I woke up at 3:45 a.m. this morning. I got home about 6. Now I'm talking to you. And in a little bit here, I'm going to go and stream on Twitch, because I got to stream at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And what's weird about that, if you would have talked to me a year ago, I wouldn't have wanted to do that. I didn't have the mentality that would be worth my time. I need to rest. I need to relax. I need to get my mind off of work. The truth is, all this time, I was wasting my nights. But now I feel like I have that grind. I'm making a schedule. My wife is helping me put together that schedule immensely. It helps to have someone that's going to help you on that journey. Not everybody has that. I'm very lucky. But also, it takes you. No matter if you have help or don't have extra help, it all comes down to your choices. And you have to take responsibility for that. Accountability. It's okay to acknowledge you've wasted some time. Wasting time isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially if you enjoyed it. I think that's a John Lennon quote of some kind. Paraphrased, of course. But I mean, you just have to do you. You can't be worrying about what other people want for you as much as what you want for you. But here's my advice. Put into action. Test out things. Test out what you want to do. Try things. And there's a swear word. Don't try. Just do it. Do the thing. You know, Nike was right all along. Me and my brother Lester joke about this a lot. Nike was right all along. Just do it. That's a good slogan. But I think people are complacent to it. They're used to seeing that. We ignore it. And that's not good. I found out what I wanted to do with my life by just doing something. Of all things, it was a joke. A very a very silly joke that I committed to write that country song. Led me to writing more and more songs. Now I'm at a lot of songs now that have not been released quite yet, but I'm working on that. But what I'm trying to say is, I made a conscious decision to just do something one night. And it changed my life. Now, I consider myself a musician, a singer-songwriter, playing guitar and singing and writing all of my lyrics. So, don't think about trying things. Just do something. And you just might find your grind.